Back in 2013, I was working as an electrical engineer, but I wanted more freedom and impact from my work. And so I got this idea for an online piano course. I immediately thought, it's gonna make millions. My wife was there and she was listening. She says, well, that's cool. What would you charge for something like that? And I was thinking, I don't know, maybe like $300? And she said, I'll never forget, who in the heck would pay that for that? Well, it turns out that thousands and thousands of people have paid at least that for that online piano course. And for that, I'm so grateful. Today, I want to share with you 6 lessons that I've learned from making over $4 million in course sales from my piano course. Lesson number 1, to make money, you must create a course business and not just a course. It makes logical sense. If you want to teach something in an online course, you start with making the course and everything will just fall into place, right? Well, unfortunately, that's not how it works. Having a successful course business is so much more than a course. At a minimum, you also need an audience that trusts you. You need a compelling offer focused on desired outcomes and not just features. And you need a proven sales process leading to the sale in a non-salesy way. And then there's plenty of other nice to haves like killer testimonials, systems, the right mindset, a small but mighty team, and so on. Avoid assuming if I build it, they will come. It took putting all the pieces together to make things work for me. Here's a simple graphic of what I call the online course business formula, emphasis on the word business. And you'll see that the course itself is one of the components here, but you can't just create that because that is not a business. That does not make money. We need all these other components in place, and you can kind of see here how they flow together to have a successful and profitable online course business. Lesson number 2, ignore the haters, unless of course they are right. I definitely have my fair share of haters. Here's a few comments that I've received over the years. Take me off your email list now. Harassing and insulting your prospective customers is definitely not a way to sell a product or service. Learn some manners and get better sales training. Make sure you don't ever contact me. Failure to adhere to this request will result in legal action. It's interesting they would call me out for manners with that tone and the all caps. You come across as a decent, sensible, pleasant person who is obviously knowledgeable about the piano and its teaching. Wow, this one starts out great. Normally, you are someone who I'd be delighted to have help me to learn piano. But, and like 17 dots, your pricings are ridiculous, absurd, insulting really. Wow, insulting that I would charge money for what I'm offering. Heaven forbid. All right, get real. It's an insult to the art of music. Oh no, this one needs like a bow tie and an uppity tone. It's an insult to the art of music and to those who study for years with the hard work and passion they have displayed. You come along and say play the piano in 21 days. Please remove this utter nonsense and go earn yourself your income from a proper job, not spending any more time highlighting your pathetic piano rubbish. And here's one of my favorites. This guy could have at least worn shoes before he plugged his merch. Well, I hate to break it to you, but I'm not wearing shoes right now. That's one of the perks of working from home. There's no denying that criticism hurts. When I receive a hateful email or comment like one of these, I first ask myself now, is this really about me, or could this person just be having a bad day or week or year on their end? I used to let the haters and negative comments really get to me, but now I realize that most of the time the problem is with them and not you. I really feel like you're probably doing something wrong if you're not getting any of these negative comments and getting any of these haters. However, every once in a while there is validity to what these haters are saying. For example, my Evergreen webinar used to have some elements in it that pretended it was live. Thinking about it now, I kind of cringe about the way that I was doing it. But back then I did receive a few messages from people about how disingenuous this was. And eventually I asked myself the magic question, is this about me or them? And this one was about me. And I no longer have any of those pretend it's live features in my non-live webinar. To be honest, I do sleep better at night as a result of that too. So lesson 3 is to celebrate the milestones. find ways to celebrate your success, whether it's a nice dinner with a loved one, a trip, or just maybe a special bottle of wine, something like that. After crossing a big milestone, I purchased 3 bottles of Dom Perignon, the really fancy champagne, with my logo on it, with the Piano in 21 Days logo on it. 1 bottle was for me and my wife, and then I mailed off 2 bottles to a couple of random students of mine. In fact, that's one of the things on my shelf back here. So there's the bottle of Dom Perignon with the Piano in 21 Days logo. Really, really cool in my very humble and very biased opinion. So what makes you happy, and what do you like to celebrate with? And can you celebrate with your audience or your students too? Lesson 4, simple is better. A few years ago, I embarked on a mission to create the world's best online piano course and platform. This was after I'd been in business for several years. I spent nearly a year recrafting my entire course and building a custom platform to host the course and the community and many other fancy features that I thought my customers would love. It took a long time and a ton of money, but eventually we were ready to launch, and at first, it was nothing short of amazing and everyone loved it. Really cool. But then, not long after that, problems started to emerge. Things started breaking and customer support requests skyrocketed. Instead of focusing on helping people learn the piano, we found ourselves caught up in the technicalities. I realized that my ambition had led me to overcomplicate things. After a few years of headaches, I moved the course over to an all-in-one platform, Kajabi, stripping back about 90% of the features and leaving only what was essential for actually learning the piano. The result? My students loved the platform even more, and the content could shine. This experience taught me a powerful lesson that simple is almost always better. Lesson 5 is who, not how. Outsourcing has become one of my main superpowers, although it took me some time to recognize its value and to trust other people inside of my business. In the past, I used to spend endless hours troubleshooting problems myself and handling repetitive tasks. I always focused on how can I make this happen rather than finding the right person for the job and asking that magic question of who instead of how. Now, my approach is just that. Instead of asking how, I ask myself who can make this happen. So for example, I use this spreadsheet pretty much every day to keep track of my business numbers just to make sure I can, just at one glance, make sure the train is staying on the tracks. And recently, some of it wasn't working properly, and I initially felt frustrated, and I'm no spreadsheet expert, and I probably could have spent the rest of that entire day trying to fix it, and I probably could have eventually. But then I remembered this new philosophy and I asked who and not how. And I found a spreadsheet expert on Upwork. I paid them about $30 and I had my issue fixed within an hour. And this is just one of many examples. And whether it's hiring a new team member or outsourcing a quick job like that example, this simple shift in thinking from how to who has been powerful in taking my business and life to new heights. It's a lesson that I now consider integral to my success. And lesson 6 is never stop asking for feedback. See, as business owners, we think we know who our customers or potential customers are. We think we know what they want. We think we have made the greatest course that's ever existed and nothing can be improved. But we have blinders. We have a different perspective as the one that's creating the stuff. And one of the most valuable things that you can do is set up feedback systems. If you're curious why people aren't buying what you have to offer, then ask them. Set up one more email in your email automation after the offer ends, asking people why they didn't take you up on the offer, and listen to what they have to say in response. For example, here's the email that we send out after the offer has ended. Thanks for allowing me to take over your inbox the past couple of weeks. After this email, I promise we are back to our normal once every few weeks email schedule. I just wanted to send you a quick email asking why it is you didn't enroll in my full program during that last discounted enrollment period. 150 plus people decided to take me up on my offer, and many of them have already started to get some cool results on their piano or keyboard, but you didn't. And I'm just curious, why not? Was it the cost, something else? I'm always looking to improve and make my course the best piano course on the internet, and your feedback is the #1 way I can do that. Please reply and let me know why you didn't enroll. Thanks, Jacques. P.S. Seriously, this is the last email for a while. And then for those that do sign up for our offer, they do sign up for our online course, we have regular checkpoints inside that are automated there as well. So for example, after 1 month, we send a really casual email out checking on them. Here's what that email looks like. It's been about a month since you signed up and I wanted to check in to see how it's going. Have you not even logged in yet? Did you log in a couple of times, but so far life has just gotten in the way? Have you made some progress, but got hung up on a certain topic? Have you made it through the course, hired an agent, and are now touring with Adele? Whatever it is, let me know, Jacques. And then we have some other checkpoints as well. I think it's really important to ask for feedback both from your non-buyers and from your buyers. So there you have my 6 lessons. Apply them to your own business to avoid my mistakes. To recap, we have create a course business, not just a course. Secondly, ignore the haters unless they're right. Third is celebrate the milestones. Fourth is simple is better. Fifth is ask who and not how. And the 6th lesson is never stop asking for feedback. But remember, none of these lessons matter if you never get started. So make sure if you haven't already, you at least get started and you're moving in a positive direction. Either way, I'm rooting for you. See you in the next video.